Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Stamping. My name is Lillian and I'm coming to you from Alberta, Canada, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today is Monday, May the 29th, 2003. So welcome aboard. Thank you for joining me. And I have a question for you. Of all of the designer papers in the catalog, in the new catalog, which designer paper or papers are at the top of your list from here? Which designer papers do you have your eye on? So just while people are hopping on board, I don't know what it's like where you are, but we've had some fabulous weather. And as many of you know, my husband is an avid gardener and I just thoroughly enjoy the results. But he's been busy planting. He planted the garden the long weekend, so the May 21st weekend, but now he's been planting the annuals and he overbought, but you can never have too many flowers, right? So our yard is starting to look nicer and nicer all the time, and we've got a bird's nest and some baby birds about to hatch, I think, so it's all good. So more of you are jumping on. So my question is, in this catalog, what are the designer papers that are at the top of your list? Maybe you've already got them, maybe you're going to get them, or maybe you're hoping to get them. But if you could, what would be your top choices of designer papers from the annual catalog? And while you're answering that question, I'm just going to take us down to the desktop and get things set up for tonight. Let's see this. Once I tighten this, yes, it's very warm here, Fran. We've actually been setting records for this time of year, for the whole month, actually. So it's very warm, so almost too warm. But we could use a little rain. We had a few sprinkles today, but we really need to have a good douse. Because it's way too dry and we've been having the grass fires and all kinds of issues like that. And so it would be nice to have some rain. Things could grow that way, but it's all good. So what is some of the designer paper that is at the top of your list? And while you're typing that in, here is a card that we are going to case tonight. And I got this card from Karen Yeomans. I was so thrilled, and I asked her if I could share it with you and if I could case it. So she is using some really neat designer paper here. So here's a question for you. What designer paper is she using? I'm going to answer that in a few moments. One of the things I wanted to mention tonight is Paper Pumpkin. The Paper Pumpkin that's offered right now, you have to order it before June 10th. It coordinates with the Country, I'm still learning the names, Country Inn Suite. So it has all the blues, and you would get enough to make 9 cards, each of 3 designs. Coordinating envelopes, so you can see a little peek here what the envelope might look like. Night of Navy spot, Stampin' Spot, you would get the stamp set and all of that. And then if you wanted to, you could add on this little die set. So the Country Inn Suite is found in the catalog. It is found right here. So it's this gorgeous suite that makes me think of Wedgwood, or all the different blue pottery that you see in the Netherlands, that kind of thing. So if you've looked at this and oohed and ahhed and went, oh, I don't think I can justify that, you might be able to cash in and get this. Or you can have both and have them work together. So where is it in the annual catalog? It's on page 62 and 63, right there. But it also coordinates. So just wanted to point that out to you. And while you're entering what designer paper this paper is from, I just have a couple of other things to mention. Remember, my sort of welcome home gift to people is a 6 by 6. I've taken the 12 by 12 sheets and cut them down to 6 by 6 of the Luster specialty paper. You saw me use this last week. It is gorgeous. So you would get a sampling of each of the 5 in colors in a 6 by 6 sheet if you place an order of $45 or more before the end of the day on May 31st. So just a heads up that might be running out on you. All right, did we have anybody guess what paper this is? Any guesses? Not seeing any pop up. So I'll give you a moment longer, and I'm going to talk about a sale that is coming June 1st. And that's the reason I asked about your favorite designer papers. So it might be a little more affordable to treat yourself to some new designer papers June 1st. They'll all be, no, not all, pardon me. The selected ones that are being offered will be 15% off. But there's all kinds. Look at the different ones that are going to be offered. Some are 6 by 6 and some are 12 by 12 and some are online exclusives, and most of them are from the annual catalog. So be watching for more information on that, and you can always plan accordingly, that kind of thing. So anyone guessed where this designer paper has come from? Let me just share with you. It is from the, oh rats, I forgot to write the name down. Let me just get this. It is from the Fresh as a Daisy designer paper. So this designer paper has a lot of the in colors and a lot of the new core colors in it, as you can see. So here's that paper that was used there, and the other side of that paper is this. So remember, you can use the swooshy sides of this paper too. So some of you have asked about this paper here. This one is so much fun to use once you get your head around it. So you can see it's almost like working out a little puzzle, but you can see this line goes all the way through. So if you cut on that line, you would have this strip, and then you can cut here and here, and you would have panels for cards. Then the next line that goes all the way through would be this one here, and then you can cut panels for your cards. Then you can cut here and cut panels for your cards, and then here and here. So I will be doing a Facebook Live with this sheet, but I just wanted to show you this is a fun sheet. And then the back of it, it looks like that. Then we have these gorgeous daisies. I'm just dying to make a slimline card with this. I just love it. And then, so this is Moody Mauve here. This is a copper clay. Then we've got these daisies here, and this is boho blue, I believe. It's like a little test here. And then there's this, and then we've got wild wheat. And this one, Pebbled Path, and this one here, and it is Pretty Peacock and Lemon Lime Twist on there. So you can see shades of Bubble Bath, Lemon Lolly, and all Azure Blue, that Azure Afternoon right here. So you see all kinds of things in there. So just giving you a little heads up about that. So I am taking Karen's card, but we are going to make it in the new core color called Bubble Bath. So Bubble Bath is this pretty pink. It is pale. It looks beautiful with fresh freesia. Let me just grab some fresh freesia, because some of you might be saying, it looks just like fresh freesia. Not quite. But it complements it. So this is fresh freesia, and you can see that this is more purpley, and this is definitely a pink. So we're going to take that, and it's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So we'll do that right now. And as always, the measurements will be in Thursday's newsletter. Then we're going to take another piece of designer paper that's going to be on sale. June 1st, and it is cut 3 by 4. And let me explain to you why I cut it 3 by 4. So I've got a full sheet here, but if I cut it 3 by 4, so I cut it 4 inches here, 3 is the halfway mark. I can get 2 panels and then still have this left over. So that I could use for another card. So that's why I cut it 3 by 4, so that it would be halfway here, the 3-inch mark. So we've got that 3 by 4. So let me just show you this paper. This designer paper is also on sale, or going to be on sale, pardon me. It's called the Bright and Beautiful. It's 6 by 6 paper, and it is just fun and happy. And if you're looking in the catalog, it's showcased on the right near the beginning of the catalog where all the balloon stuff is. There, again, I don't have my names down properly, but you know what I mean by the balloon suite. And you can see, again, gorgeous colors here, just like the Fresh as a Daisy. This has a lot of the new core colors in it, and they are just fun, and they really add to our color collections. They go so well together with other things. So this is the designer paper, and it is 3 by 4. We're going to just put that here. And then we're going to take some basic white that is 3 1/4 by 4 inches, or should be 4 1/4. Pardon me. I will write that in right now. So everything's just getting 1/4 of an inch bigger. I'm not even making my little mini borders. I'm making the regular ones. So this piece is just 1/4 of an inch wider, 1/4 of an inch taller. And then we have a piece of the bubble bath that is 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. Again, 1/4 of an inch bigger. And I embossed it with the Basics embossing folder. Now they have been back ordered, but they are back in stock. So the Basics 3D embossing folders you find them on the online store. So we use this one here, but these are the 3. They are fabulous embossing folders that can be used on almost any project. I just love them. They are my go-tos right now. And then I have a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside of the card. So we'll just put that to the side and bring all of this back. So we're going to take these little labels off. So first off, this designer paper is going to go on here, and I'm just going to substitute that out because I want to have the label. And so I took this label is right from the Daisies dies, and no one's going to know that I stole that label out of there. So we are going to now put this onto here and then onto here. So let's just do that. The only thing you have to watch when you cut the center out like that is don't put glue here because it'll go right through, obviously. So just go on the edges, center it. This card comes together so quickly and easily. I've been making quite a few of them actually. So then we're going to put some glue here. These 3 layers are going to be just flat. You could always add dimensionals if you wanted, but for tonight I'm just layering them flat like that. And then I'm going to bring in my dimensionals and put this on my card front because I can do that. So that way I won't lose it. It's stuck to my finger. And that's good enough. We'll take these off. Are any of you gardeners? Are you like my husband and love to garden, or are you fortunate like me and have a spouse that does, and you can sit back and enjoy? There we go. We've got that like that. So we've got this card front. Now we just have to go like that. The best embossing folders, you're right, Lynn. Those are the best embossing folders. I think so too. So now let me talk to you about this this bundle, the Cheerful Daisies Bundle. You're going to see me use it lots. We're just getting our fingers inky tonight with them and just dabbling a little bit. So the Cheerful Daisies has great words, and it has two-step stamping. So you've got the outline and you've got the filler. And you've got that with these ones, and then you've got some other things here that are great, and then you've got the dies that layer beautifully. So let me bring in my famous Get Acquainted sheet and just show you this. So you've got all of these. So this layers onto this, this layers onto this, this layers onto this. These are the little centers for your flowers. And then we've got this gorgeous one here. And let me just show you what you can even do with this. So I have cut some of those out. What are these? I have these so that I can show in a class that they layer. I think I got them upside down. I mean, I did them in a different color so you can see how they layer, but they add that 3D kind of thing to the dies. But this is the big one. So nice. But could we use it with all of this? Yes, you can actually. Now I've been playing around and I forgot to get it lined up ahead of time, but you can actually, I had them lined up a bit ago. You can actually make this 3 layers and go like that. And the same with these two as well. You can layer, you could put this underneath and this on top, and it just takes a minute to get them lined up because I'm on camera, of course. It's not going, but so you could do that, and you could easily cut these apart, just snip them apart and make a 3rd layer. We're going to just do 2 layers tonight, and let's just get this out of the way here, and let's bring in the dies. And we're going to use those. Now what I did, just to help me line the dies up when I put them away, when I flipped them over, I just made little, Sharpie marks there so I knew I could quickly see. But I'm getting better at lining them up all the time. So let's bring in my cut and emboss machine here. My little mini one. Just like that. And I'll put this down and bring in some white paper. So all of these dies, even the great big one, does fit in the mini. If you're a mini person, it will fit. So I want to cut 2. I want to cut the 2nd layer and the 1st layer. How's that for technical terminology? There we go. We've got it through. Let's take it apart. Don't you just love how our dies release and cut, and all that intricate stuff comes out so nicely too? I just love it. If your dies, by any chance, are sticking, for example, when I cut these out, it happens more with intricate ones. When I cut these out, sometimes they stick in the die, and because they're so narrow and tiny, you kind of think, they're going to tear. If that does happen, let me just bring back the dies. Where did I put the dies? I'll just use this one. Put your paper down. Put wax paper on top of it. Put your die down and run it through. And do that a couple of times and your die will release really easily. It makes a huge difference. It just kind of lubricates it a little bit or something. So that's something that you can do if you so choose. All right, so now we're going to put this together. And if you look at how Karen did it, she did it like this. I thought maybe I'd like to sponge a little bit in there. So what I am going to do is sponge here. So should I sponge pink or yellow? Oh, I'm leaning towards yellow. Pink would look nice too, though. I'm going to bring in crushed curry and the small blending brushes. I'm loving these small blending brushes. I actually reach for them before the big ones now. And I'm going to start out really light and just kind of smear that in there. There we go, just like that. And in looking at Karen's here, I think she actually used this one here as her bottom layer, but I'm going to use this one. So just a little ad lib. Now we're going to put some mini dimensionals on the back of this to just give it even more dimension. That's why they're called dimensionals, right? Now, if you feel like you need a few more, you can cut one in half. I've got half of one here. Let's see, where might I need one? It's actually not looking too bad. I'll put it here. I should take the white out so you can see better, right? I always work on grid paper, but I know it's hard to see. I always check when it's a die like this to make sure none of the dimensionals are showing, and they're not. So now we'll take the backings off. There we go. And, okay, haven't done this for a couple of days, so let's see. There, it's going right like that. And what do I look at? And you know, it actually doesn't matter if it's not totally lined up, but I kind of look at this wonky one here. So just choose one that you like, line it up, and you've got it like that. Now, I could have stamped and added a center to it, but I've got another plan for the center. So that's going to be like that. I brought in this because I love it. And so we can go like that. And we need the greeting. So I'm not going to stick anything down till I get it all done. Now, the nice thing about this is there's these great words and they all fit on here. I'm pretty sure that one does. Let's find out. I'm sure I've used it, but let's see. It fits. Yep, just fits. There we go. But we're going to use wishing you the brightest birthday because for some reason, June is a big birthday month in our house. So, in our family, I guess I should say, not just our house. And this is photopolymer. So I'm actually going to put a bit of foam underneath, just a little bit of cushion, and do it that way. And I thought that the bubble bath ink might be a little bit light, so I'm going to shade darker with Berry Burst. And that's another new of the core in colors. And because it's photopolymer, it's pretty easy to see where you're stamping. And let's push that down, give it a minute for the ink to transfer, and there you go. Just like a pro. I'm going to leave that open. I'll live dangerously because I need that in a minute. So we've got that. So while we've got the ink open, I'm going to do the inside of the card. So we've got our basic white. That is 4 by 5 1/4. And I am going to bring in some of the daisy stuff. So let's see, I'm going to bring in the stem, and I'm actually going to make the stem Berry Burst. We're going to stick with Berry Burst, but I'm going to stamp it off because I want it lighter on the inside. And I'm going to do the outline of the daisy and berry burst, just like that. I should have stamped a little harder, but it really won't matter. And I'm going to do the leaf and berry burst. All of these I'm stamping off because I want them to be a little bit more gentle. There we go. Now we can close that up. I could be doing the same thing on the envelope as well, but I won't tonight. Now I am going to bring in the bubble bath, and we're going to fill in the bubble bath. So this is the two-step part. This is going to go right down over top and color it in for you. And this is like magic. This is one of the things that sold me on Stampin' Up. They had a tulips set that was did this, and I thought it was like magic. So you can see there how it fills it in. And like that. Oh, I guess I do want berry burst back. I want to do the center like that. And I've got ink all over me. Let me just grab a cloth here and get rid of that. There we go. And now I have the inside of my card ready, and I can add a greeting when the time comes. So let's close this up and move this out of the way and build our card. So we've got that. That will go inside. I'm not going to glue it in because I want to be able to stamp. And this way, if I mess up with my stamping, I can always flip it. Well, I guess I can't flip this one over. I've got a big smudge in there. So let's take a look at this. So I want this to be sort of like that. I'm just copying Karen, so nothing original here. And this to be tucked in like that. I think that's how I want to go. So I'll bring in my mat here, my silicone mat. So if I get glue on it, it won't matter. It just wipes off. So I just put adhesive on the end here. The flower is going to help hold it on, and the rest I'm fine with it being kind of free and easy like that. Now for the flower, you could glue it right down if you wanted, but you know me, I love my dimensionals. So I will bring in some dimensionals here. And let's see, maybe like that. And because I've got this space, it looks like I've got that a bit crooked. It's all good. There we go. And we've got this. My thinking is because it's tucked a little bit, it will sort of look like it flows together. Now, all we need to do is maybe an embellishment or two. Now, Karen used some of these really neat faceted type embellishments. I didn't have them, so I looked around at what I did have. And I got to thinking, the flat adhesive back pearls, wouldn't these big ones look pretty neat in there? So let's see if you agree with me. If we tuck that in there, just like that. So we've got that. And then I also looked around, and we have the brushed brass butterflies. Boy, you have to slow down to say that one. And I thought that would maybe look pretty neat just there like that. And there you have it, everyone. There is our Cheerful Daisies and the bubble. I always want to call it bubble gum, bubble bath one. So here is the one that Karen made, like that. And hers was in Granny Apple Green. This is in bubble bath, and then I've made it again, just like Karen's again, in lemon lime twist. So you can see the different looks there. I really like how this goes. Now this layout would really work for anything. You could put a little circle punch here with some stamping on it and some words here. You could put leaves. You could change it up. It doesn't have to be daisies, but I happen to like daisies. Ooh, I wonder what Wink of Stella would look like on there. Nothing like doing a little ad-libbing as we go along. I don't know if you can see, but when you cut out the daisy, this one, it's got these etchings. So I'm just going to follow those etchings with Wink of Stella. And I don't worry too much with Wink of Stella. I figure more is better, so don't worry about it at all. And there we go. What do you think? Do you like having, oh, maybe you can't see it. Let me see. You maybe can't see the Wink of Stella. I can see it in real life. And it actually adds to it. So there you go, like that. Now, I have only made a couple of other things with the Cheerful Daisies. They're definitely on my list to play some more with. Just trying to find the time. But when I did my new In Color Club, the first color we did was the Pebbled Path, and we used the daisy in Pebbled Path. And it might not be what you would think to use a daisy for, but it seemed to work. I quite liked it. And so this was the card that the In Color Club got. And then lots of times as demonstrators, we get together and make cards, and one of the ladies who organizes that is Darlene McCallum. And when we got together, this was before I went overseas, we made this card here. So daisies can be any color you want, can't they? And this is Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock, and with some copper clay in the background. Again, this is the Fresh as a Daisy paper. It's the back side. So you can see it there. And then this is that, oh, it's new in the catalog. It's with the space. It's all this shiny, glimmery paper. It's so pretty. There it is. So once again, here is this one here, the one that we made tonight. And here are some of the others. And here is the inspiration. So thank you, Karen. Remember, if you want to shop, you can contact me, but you can also go to my online store if you'd like. If you go to my online store and your order is less than $200, I ask that you please use the hostess code if you can. If not, it's not the end of the world. Don't worry about it. And remember, if you place an order of $45 or more, before the end of the day on the 31st, that's Wednesday, believe it or not, you receive this packet of sample of the luster paper, the luster specialty paper that you saw in use last week. So thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy our gorgeous weather. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care and have fun. Bye-bye.